So what is going on with the Northern Irish abortion law? Those of you who've been following the forced imposition of abortion into Northern Ireland will probably be, like I was, a little confused, especially after mixed messages and rays of hope over the last few weeks about the possibility of this law not going through. Well, allow me to bring you up to speed. Let's go right back to July 2019. So this is when it all began. The UK government in July 2019 passed a law which basically stated that if the Northern Irish Assembly don't get together by the 31st of October 2019, then the UK government will automatically decriminalise abortion and bring in its own abortion regulations. Now, by the 31st of October, the Northern Irish Assembly hadn't got back together, so automatically abortion was decriminalised up to 28 weeks. And the Northern Irish office in Westminster started drafting its own abortion regulations for Northern Ireland. Those regulations were due to come into effect on the 31st of March 2020. Now, between October 31st and March 31st, two really significant things happened. Firstly, miraculously, the Northern Irish Assembly got back together. Stormont opened its doors and started passing laws again, which raised huge questions of, well, if the Northern Irish government is running, who are Westminster to push through any laws, let alone abortion laws? The second thing that happened in that time was a consultation was conducted by the Northern Irish office in Westminster for people on the ground in Northern Ireland, asking them what they thought about the proposed new regulations. The results were very fascinating indeed. 79% of people who participated in that consultation said that they didn't want any change to the Northern Irish abortion legislation. That is not a small margin. 79%. That is a whopping great majority. Did the Northern Irish office listen? Not one bit. They positively ignored the voice of the Northern Irish people and the 100% of Northern Irish MPs that voted against this regulation, and started drafting the most extreme abortion law in Europe. And extreme it is. Okay, just to talk about a few things, this new abortion law allows for abortion, de facto abortion up to 24 weeks. It gives no measures to prevent sex-selective abortions. It also enables abortions for disability up to full term and guts out all the serious criminal repercussions for malpractice. That's just a few things. This law is not good for unborn children. It's not good for women. Now, although these laws came into effect on the 31st of March 2020, it is parliamentary procedure for government to have 28 seated days, which is 28 days in which they're actually operating, to approve or reject new regulations. So this is really where the confusion and excitement came in over the last few weeks, which is the 28-day deadline was last Tuesday. In that time, the regulation hadn't been formally approved, so people started to get excited that potentially because of Corona and all this remote voting that the Lords are struggling with, and potentially because the Joint Committee on Statutory Instruments had found some defects in the original legislation, perhaps at the last hurdle this regulation would fall. At the last hurdle, perhaps Northern Ireland would be kept abortion free. Sadly not. Last Monday, all hopes were dashed when the regulation was republished with only minor tweaks and retabled, allowing for another 28 days for this new regulation to be approved before it comes into effect. So what does it mean for us? Well, it means we've got an extra 28 days to contact our MPs to ask them to not approve this new regulation. Speak up, speak now, and do stay posted with our videos to help understand what's going on the front line with regard to abortion in the UK and Northern Ireland. We are CBRUK, and my name is Christian Hecking.